The Republican House is friendly after 15 votes. They managed to elect a piece of shit, the piece of shit Kevin McCarthy as Speaker, and that means they can get on to their main business, impeaching Joe Biden for basically for not committing any crimes anyway, or for anything. Of course, Democrats control the other chamber of Congress, but the chance of a frivolous House impeachment getting the 60 votes in the Senate for his removal is somewhere between 0 and zilch. So why are Republicans so obsessed with taking a nonsense vote and a nonsense issue that will fucking result in nothing at all? Now, I know the answer. Basically, the nonsense is the point. Republicans want to impeach Biden in a clearly partisan, obviously illegitimate way because they want to delegitimize the impeachment process. They dislike that process because it was used against um, Republican squatter Donald Trump when he committed his crimes. It's no secret that many in the House majority want to find some excuse or no excuse at all to impeach Biden. Back in 2020, before Biden was even elected, Iowa Senator Joni Ernst said that Republicans would impeach him as soon as possible for something regarding his son Hunter Biden's involvement in Ukraine, which they already proved wasn't illegal. In 2021, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham threatened Biden with impeachment for pulling troops out of Afghanistan, which also is not impeachable. Um, um, Now, Georgia Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, a key McCarthy nutlicker who has tried to downplay the violent Klan attack on the January 6th Klan attack on the Capitol, tweeted on January 1st of this year that 2023 would be a great year to impeach Biden, even though she offered basically no answer as to why he should be impeached. It's not just elected representatives either. A poll last week found that 68% of Republican voters think that Biden should be impeached. Well, that's because they're all inbred and fucking inbreeding with their sisters and family members and all that stuff. So they don't count. So, Barton Gellman at The Atlantic argued that impeachment is the natural consequence of Trumpian election denial. Now, the Republicans, contrary to all evidence, see Biden as an illegitimate president who stole the 2020 election, which he did not. Impeaching him, in their mind, seems natural and right when it's actually wrong. Now, no doubt that's part of the impetus. Republicans also want revenge for the fact that the impeachment process was twice used against Trump. Trump was impeached once because of revelations that he had tried to blackmail Ukraine into aiding him in the 2020 election, and once following his involvement in him instigating the January 6th Klan attack. Now, Trump and his allies saw impeachment as a personal humiliation for him, and they fucking want revenge. Now, turnabout. The Republicans believe this is fair play, which it's not. The Democrats weaponized impeachment, according to Ted Cruz, and that's not the case. And what the real disadvantages of doing that is the more you weaponize it and turn it into a partisan cudgel. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And Cruz doesn't believe that Biden has committed an impeachable offense, but on the contrary, he wants Biden impeached. He suggests precisely because Biden has not committed any serious crimes. The goal is to impeach Biden as a kind of a joke or parody to mock both Biden and the impeachment process itself. Now, Republicans want to degrade constitutional norms so that people won't take them seriously, which I haven't taken the Republicans seriously in my whole life. In that way, when the Republicans like Trump do something horrific, such as stage a Klan attack, and responsible politicians try to impeach him, Republicans can just say, well, haha, impeachment is a partisan joke. We're all just corrupt partisans together. And if we're all corrupt, why not embrace the side that is open and honest about its corruption? Ted Cruz admits impeachment is just a partisan gambit, but unlike those hypocritical Democrats, he doesn't pretend he has any higher motive. Now, philosopher John Paul Sartre argues that this sort of winking, deliberate mockery of virtue is a hallmark of anti-Semitism and fascism. Fascist anti-Semites, they know that their remarks are frivolous and open to any challenge. They think that they are amusing themselves, for it is their adversary who is obliged to use words responsibly, since he believes in those words. They even like to play with discourse where, by giving ridiculous reasons, they discredit the seriousness of their interlocutors. They delight in acting in bad faith, since they seek not to persuade by the sound argument, but to intimidate and disconcert. In Sartre's view, the fact that Republicans have no real reason for impeaching Biden is not a bug but a future. I think this door of impeachable whatever has been opened. Joni Ernst asserted in 2020, and sure enough, impeachment resolutions have been introduced in the House for a grab bag of whatever the fuck it is that they're trying to impeach him on. Some Republicans want to impeach Biden for immigration, others for Afghanistan, others for the handling of the coronavirus. Really, because Trump should have been impeached over the coronavirus response, where he botched the pandemic. Now others accuse others because of accusations against his son Hunter, and even though Hunter is not president and doesn't hold any political office, so that doesn't count. The incoherence is part of the fun, and since it suggests impeachment is meaningless, it makes a mockery of democratic institutions that the Republicans hold in contempt. Now, for the Republicans these days, the only real legitimate law is that Republicans should rule, which I do not like. They seek to sweep away checks and balances and democratic processes that impede their power. By impeaching Biden, they show their contempt for him personally, but they also want to show their contempt for democratic checks and balances and for the tools which were used to attempt to hold Trump accountable. Republicans hate Biden and they hate impeachment. Nonsense charges of impeachment against Biden are a good way for them to besmirch both. Now, if you like the video, you can give the video a like and subscribe to my channel, RBW King. You can also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out. And if you want to support my work even further, you can donate to my Patreon link, which you can find in the about section of YouTube. And for just as little as a few bucks a month, your donation can help go a long way, and thanks for listening.